So I'm an adjunct professor and I work with a lot of college age students, and also I do some gig work as a tutor. So I see a lot of kids who are uh, elementary to high school level. And I also have a bunch of colleagues who are older than me, so I get to see people of all ages. And one thing that really disheartens me is that as people grow older, they become more judgmental, right? As younger kids, people seem to have a concept of live and let live, but as they get older, things really shift for the worse, right? So one of my students, he's in, I want to say 6th grade, and we're getting close to Valentine's Day, and he asked me if I have a girlfriend and what I plan to do with my girlfriend. And I answer him, well, actually, I have 4 billion girlfriends and 4 billion boyfriends, and I'll probably mingle with a few of them, learn something new, learn some new experiences. And it took him less than 5 seconds to understand what that means, right? It would never work with one of my colleagues, right? Or even a college-age student. That would never work, right? Now, sometimes one thing that adults are a little bit better at doing is they learn to never ask how old you are, right? So but even then, a lot of older kids seem to make that mistake. So I had a 7th grader ask me how old I was, and I gave him a joke of an answer. He's studying science, so I thought I could give him a scientific answer that was a little bit abstract. I told him I was 14 billion years old, and I said, I just don't have very good memory, right? So I was around when Lincoln was assassinated. I was around when the Earth was born. I spent 9 billion of them on another planet, probably, right? But I can't remember very much from more than a few decades ago, and I left it at that, right? And he understood what that meant. Now, I also had a 9th or 10th grader ask me the same thing, and I used the same answer, and I concluded by saying that age is just a number, right? I am who I am, right? You can judge me by what I do, what I know, my personality, but age is just a number. And we've all been here for 14 billion years old. We might have been part of different things and on different planets. And he just thought it was such a funny joke that age is just a number, right? And he jokes that I'm 14 billion years old and how I say that age is just a number. And this is something that people understand as a young kid, right? You are who you are, right? But as we get older, we seem to lose focus of that. Now, I get the same problem with different aspects of personal life as well, right? Sometimes when I deal with older kids and they hear about what I love to do for a hobby, where I love to travel, they get very judgmental about that, right? I gotta be careful every time we come back from a break, right? Telling people what I did on vacation. My older peers, when they hear that I like to go to the Computer Olympiad conference, that I love to travel to some of the places that I travel to, get very judgmental, right? Kids just think it's very cool that I got to take a break, right? It's just so weird. Or my eating habits especially, right? So sometimes I deal with a kid who's 7, 8 years old. I had a kid who asked me which side of the Twix candy bar I like better. There's a left Twix and a right Twix, and I still have not figured out what the difference is. And it was time to tell her that, I haven't consumed any sugar for 17 years. And I tell her it's just because I feel a whole lot better that way, right? And I explained to her, well, do you have friends who have allergies, maybe peanuts? And in fact, in the school, they have a peanut-free area in the cafeteria just because of that. Well, it's similar to that, right? After I might not die from eating sugar, but I feel so much better, and I don't want to go back. And she immediately understood that, right? An older kid would torment you, right? Oh, it's okay in moderation, right? Or an adult absolutely would torment you, right? You're spoiling the atmosphere, and I really hate that we spoil the innocence of these children, right? Especially after after I dealt with the fifth grader and explaining how I had 8 billion partners, and he immediately understood that concept, right? You would never get that dealing with somebody my age, right?